All right, how are you? Here's what's going to happen today. A real quick lecture on the video on this right here, just to show you some things of what life is like in America while World War II is going on. And it has to do not really with the warfare. The guys are fighting for sure, but this is what's happening at home. So stick with me, folks, and let's have a look. All right, so let's talk about what's going on at home, at the home front during World War II. And you can see that there's going to be difficulties all the way around for everyone, not nearly compared to the men doing the fighting in Europe and over in Japan or in the Pacific, but nevertheless, it's going to be difficult for everybody. And you can see there's going to be all kinds of shortages, all kinds of stuff going to be just not enough for everybody, including materials, raw materials, supplies, everything. And there's going to be all kinds of problems that are going to come about because of that, that people have to deal with. And some of the problems we see are black market activity, the idea of like buying things outside of, it's not legal to buy stuff like this. You're limited to what you can purchase, but some people are going to feel that they should have certain amounts of things anyway. There's going to be inflation too, prices going up, and then things going to be hoarded as well. Now, the government's going to deal with these issues here in a couple of different ways. And we see there's going to be rationing that's going to be happening. You're going to be given a certain amount of every item, whatever that item might be, just so we can make sure that the soldiers are getting enough of what they need. And then also, we're going to see price ceilings too, which really goes against a capitalist economy like the United States has. As you probably remember, in capitalism, supply and demand determines what the price of things are going to be, and not just some arbitrary artificial ceiling that the government puts on it, but that's what's going to be happening. And people are going to generally embrace this kind of thing, rationing and price ceiling and stuff, because, you know, it's the patriotic thing to do. Everybody has a kid fighting in the war, a friend, a relative fighting in the war. So they're going to embrace this stuff usually. And people are going to break these things and hoard stuff or doing black market purchases. They're really not going to be doing the patriotic thing, and it's going to be frowned upon. So generally, people are going to cooperate with these government policies. With regards to the rationing, looking over here on the right, you see these little tickets here, these tear-off tickets, and you would give these to the gas station, the fuel station, for getting your particular fuel ration for that week. Notice all the tickets you have here. Maybe they come out for a month or for a week or something like that. And I guess if you want to use all the tickets at once and do it, you can do that, but then you might run out by the end of the week. Now, you still have to pay for the gas. You give them the tickets per gallon, but you got to pay for the gas with your own money too. Over here on the left, you can see this rating system for cars. A letter A in your car, and you can see a version of it over here. A letter A in your car means sort of an average driver. You get a particular amount of coupons per week. A driver C, a car C down here. These are people that drive more for the war effort or for their particular job, maybe a doctor making house calls, or a farmer or something like that. So that's how fuel is rationed, and food's going to be rationed as well in sort of the same way. And you're going to have to deal with that and watch what you're eating. Just going to get a particular amount of food each week. And you can see a ration of food in Britain for the week. And it's just really not that much. One egg or a packet of egg powder, which does not sound very appetizing. 2 ounces of jam, an ounce of cheese, 3 ounces of sugar. Good grief, that's just not that much stuff. But that's what they had to do and had to deal with. The price ceilings, you can see this illustration over here on the right. 1918, the First World War, prices went up pretty significantly, 64.6%. With price ceilings, they went up only 25.9%. So they're trying to make it not look so bad with the price, the inflation and stuff going on because of the war. Now, of course, when the war is over and the price ceiling is removed, the price is going to go through the roof. But nevertheless, that's something they'll have to deal with at another time when the war is over. A couple of other things happening here. Recycling drives, getting all the metals they can, steel that's not being used, and melting it down and making weapons with it. Also, with recycling tires and rubber, they need a lot of rubber for the war. And victory gardens, almost everyone was planting stuff in their backyard or even vacant lots in a city or wherever in your town. People planted their own food so they could supplement, supplement what they were rationed out and were buying at the store. And don't forget conservation. You're just not using as much as they normally would like to use. And then you got to pay for all this. And that's where the war bonds come into play. And this is what war bonds look like. You can see that they're loans to the government. And this is what they look like and how they work. you have some money to invest, you go to the bank or wherever they're selling them and buy one of these bonds. This one's worth $100, and they all have a maturity date, and matures at a particular time. And then when it matures, you could take it back, get your cash back with interest. So it's an investment in the war. It's a patriotic thing to do, and you're trying to help out the war effort. And that's how war bonds worked, and that's how the war was paid for. The taxes that the government was charging the people could never pay for a war this big, so they use these additional ways of financing the war. All right, and that's all I got for that. All right, now since you know what's going on with in the country during World War II, what you're going to do is look into something called propaganda a little bit. Probably some of you know what this is already, but what you're going to do is do a little bit of research, see what it is. You can see on the screen here. This is the template you're going to be opening up at the bottom of the assignment, and so put the definition up here, and then you can see you got two slides over here. You don't have to make any more slides. Just use the slides I got. Post 2 images of World War II propaganda on this slide. 2, all right? And then make sure you put a description in what these particular pieces of propaganda are doing. And then down here you can see your options: rationing, price ceilings, victory gardens, all kinds of stuff. Some maybe you're promoting war bonds, keeping secrets from the enemy, whatever. Make sure you look good. Make sure you make the presentation look good. And then get rid of all of my text. Get rid of my text and put only your own in. I don't want to see yours. I don't want to see my stuff, just yours. Colors in the back. White is boring. Put some fancy colors in. Mess with the fonts a little bit and make it look good. And then make sure you hit that submit button when you're all finished. And do any makeup work that you might be missing. Remember, we're running out of time for the quarter. Okay? Hope you all have a good day. Thanks a lot for doing the assignment.